Hey guys, RunBuck with RunBuck on Games, torturing you once again with intro music from the 80s. This time it's Gary Newman with Cars. Probably the first song, 1980, topped out at number 9. Probably set the stage for the trance music that you love today. But that's not why you're here. You want to see some attacks. We were in a war with Aurora. They're actually in Clan War League Light with us in that division. But it was a random match. We just kind of tripped upon them. Ended up winning 85-83. Really pretty well balanced war as well. I mean, it looked basically like what you might see in a matchup. Not really. So it was a fair fight. Let's go ahead and just get into it. A couple of attacks. We'll start down at the bottom. Do a couple builds. You know how I like to do. So first off, we had an attack on 27. Actually, there were 3 attacks. I'll skip the first one because it only got 20%. Let's look at the second one and try to understand, what about it that we like or don't like, and then we'll look at the attack that actually ended up working. So the Queen Walk isn't bad, although typically it's a pretty costly opener for hog or air. So you got to get a lot of value out of it, right? And so if he's going to go hog, he's got to, my question first off would be, you're not getting any of this down. Oh, it's a hog bowler. So very ground heavy. The other thing that you notice was that one of the expos was actually down. So I'd question why you wouldn't translate that into, doing air. Got pretty close with it. I mean, if you were going to change something, wow, really close. 2 more spins, he would have had it, and I wouldn't have been able to say anything about that. Let's take a look at the one that actually worked. I'd be curious if anybody feels like actually that was a valid ground base. Here, let's scout it one more time, and then we'll. So yeah, so the queen's down here. It's pretty. There's a lot of gapping too with the base. Overall, you gotta like though the grouping in terms of hog action, these being grouped in this one on the edge, so your mass defense is not there. Anyway, I think it's more air. I don't know what you guys think. The other thing notice is so watch as Joe goes in. Joe's the one that actually gets the 3-star, and I mean the base is not very good in terms of leveling, so not like ta-da or anything, but I'm just looking at more in terms of base dynamics. So he's got here a better vector, I think, in that it's driving in. He's going to get the whiz towers, he's going to get the expo, going to get the queen, going to get the CC triggered, and then coming in from the top at early stage. That's one of the things you want to think about with your air attacks. Probably in the first 20% of the pathing, you want to be able to hit the Tesla farm if there is one, and then move through it, and he did. And actually, it ends up being almost as close as the first attack. If he hadn't had that hound there, it probably wouldn't have turned out as good as it did. So both attacks kind of ended similar. One just came out a little better, but I'd be curious if you guys felt that was truly more air or more ground. And maybe it's a moot question given the defense levels, that you can't really make that call. The other one we wanted to look at was 13 in the Town Hall 9 section. Then we had some 3-stars at Town Hall 10 on Pier. That'll be interesting, I think, for people to gander at. But let's take a look at 13. Who hit 13 for Woo? There's Woo's attack on it. The first one that we missed, though. Anybody see it? 13, where are you? 19. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Took forever. 93% by you, Tiger. Alright, we found it. So let's see what we like or dislike about this attack. Now this is actually a max base. The cuts looked alright, so first stage of the open. Do you like the vector? It's gonna go air. So he's getting CC, he's getting an AD, he's getting an expo. Getting the queen. So the vector, pretty good. I'd be worried here if this is Tesla's, you're broadside in the Teslas, so I'd be like, why didn't you just come this way? But let's not, alright, let's see what happens. Is it Tesla's? It is. Or is it? Just one Tesla. Does not get the other Expo either. So the other thing that I don't like about that is by attacking into this longer rectangular, your troops tend to slide. You know, you get more of a wash type pattern. You can't really control their entry. This is a much more tighter, you know what's going to happen. You know, you hit, then you jump, you know how it's going to flow. You get in and you penetrate. So that too might have helped again. Let's watch more. The loon and hound placement looks pretty good. Got a bit of a jump from the AD, from AD to AD. This is a large gap for the loons to do. You'll basically get out of position. These guys here will end up not focusing the hound that flies by. He powers through it, but he takes a lot of damage. Oh, and then there's that, and that was that Tesla farm there. So it was really Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. So one thing I would say is usually I try to run on the initial push basically perpendicular to the Tesla so they don't all trigger at the same time. So I really think if you would have a different angle there, it might have done a little better. Let's take a look and see what Wu ended up doing. What number is that? 13. 13. There we go. There again. See, okay, so Wu and I agree. Now he uses the 4Q, which I don't like, but the vector is the same, right? So he's coming in perpendicular to the Tesla farm, so they don't trigger all at the same time. He gets similar penetration in terms of what he's dealing with. And now he just has one. Wow, he really got a lot of value out of his team. So he only had one AD left to deal with out of that. So really got a lot of value off the off that initial push. Because, you know, basically you get the Tesla farm, you get the AD, he got the other AD, and I don't even know how I got this one. Let me watch it real quick, real again, see what happened. Oh, they are pretty close together. What did he do? The wizard's down there. Does his group run there? Oh, the golem and the king. And the queen backing. So the queen ends up doing it. Wow, that's a lot of value. 3 ADs. So some of that's luck. I mean, he would have been alright if that 1 AD would have stayed up. But either way, nice attack. Now we actually had 3 peers on Town Hall 10 that we should probably take a gander at. So on number 10, Space did one. So these are all peer Town Hall 10s. Now the Infernos on, I think all of them but one are level 2. So if you want to discount based on that, you can. But notice what he is getting off this is that by entering this box and moving through this direction, he gets a pretty high odds flanking shot on the Inferno. He knows where the queen's going to be. It's pretty good odds she's going to get it or somebody's going to get it. And that somebody turns out to be the queen and the golem. So at that point, I mean, he's gotten a lot of value. He can then run. He's gotten 2 ADs down even. So he can then run the and he gets the second Inferno, and he still hasn't even launched his stuff. So, you know, really well done in terms of like the kill squad. Really got a lot of value for him by just moving through. And so you might want to take a look at the, you know, is that really a base design? I mean, granted, he recognized it, the flanking movement to, you know, take the queen and get her on this Inferno, and then his bowlers got a little luck there in terms of throwing, because I don't think you could really path that. You know, you have to, I mean, they'll clear, no doubt about that, but pathing it would be difficult. But a good attack either way. Let's take a look now at, was that 10? let's look at 11. Chris also 3-starred. This is basically how the war was won right here. This is where we broke their back. Their 10s couldn't peer. In this war, they had trouble with it, and so we pulled away. So, what are we doing here? Trying to get in a position to get one Inferno. The mass minions doesn't take him out. Oh, it's Dragon. That's right, I forgot about this. So basically, he zap quaked one, and he knew that dragons on a multi aren't going to be a problem. And he can get his queen staying alive here will actually work down and get that other AD. Look at that, just one dragon took out that Inferno, and the queen uses her ability and then boom, takes it down. King comes in really late. Dragon gives some initial protection for the loons. That he probably could have done that loon deploy at the last stage a little tighter. We'll hold him a little bit and then go, but really good, really. So what made that attack was the recognition that he could isolate this Inferno with no AD support, and then if you got drags on Inferno, drags win. So basically he knew that he could get to here, and then if his queen stayed alive and worked to here, she might get a shot on this one. Basically then leaving it to be a 1 AD game. And the king running this way, and then he had a held over a dragon with balloons, and the dragon was basically a cheap block, I think, for if that AD was still up. So pretty well thought out by Chris. The other one was A-Boy on 9. So I lied. They were all Inferno level 2s. And that does matter a little, although I think in what I've seen from the 2 attacks, it wasn't really clearly couldn't have worked. So what do we got once again? We're taking a path in to guarantee an Inferno off of entry. And really, he's going with this, late snipe. It's not really, so notice how he's only got 8 loons in reserve. So what he's planning on is that he can somehow get these down, and then he's going to snipe in action off that. So let's see how he does that. Oh wait, I lied. So he had 1 hound in the CC, so he can take one side with it. Wow. So what's impressive about that is to recognize that the hound is going to have enough life as a max hound to cover 2. Granted, it didn't make it there, it died. But then you use the overwhelming mass, or your royals are coming through that other side. Let's take a look at what's around those other ADs. So one thing you've got, so that would make A-Boy think, yeah, I can totally do this. Now, clearly he's 9 bowlers, 2 golems. It's a pretty strong push to middle. And 6 Valks. So, I mean, he's making a strong push in this direction with his ground team. But what you see here, though, around this and this, is there's not a lot of anti-air. I mean, there is some here. Right? This guy's really protected, but he's making the push over here, so some of this is going to weaken out, right? So he knows, and they're also on the edge, so it's going to be quick to it. So the hound gets there, it's going to take it out, and then it's going to fly off, and then meanwhile the loons are going to come in, and he's going to have more loons come in. It's a first top attack. So by the fact that the ADs are on the edge, really enabled A-Boy to have that late stage snipe action with just 1 hound. Good base identification there. Well planned, well planned. Now, were there any others? We did hit 1 3 times. Maybe let's look in terms of hit up, trying to get 2. Let's take a look at that in terms of why the initial hits failed. Let's see here. Who hit 1? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So Snow hit it once for 37. Swoo's one that actually hit it and took it. and Magnus missed for 39. So let's just look at one miss. Whoops. Let's take a look at that and think about what didn't work out there. So it's a racetrack base. You've got to make your cuts to get your flow into the mid. So he's doing a queen walk. He probably wanted that queen to go in. I don't think he wanted it out there. Let's look at that. Really hurt him. Yeah, see how he had to send the king in. He would have preferred, I think, to probably run this king this way and trimmed. And then this, so now he's trying to fix it with Valks, right? Which is really his core team Valk. So really, this broke down with the queen bouncing out, I think. I think that's where you lost it. And that's a consistent problem in all attacks. You know, you can't underestimate the opening moves of like the wall breaker actually breaking the wall. And, you know, your cut team actually making the cuts far enough to actually allow it to ensure your guys go where you need them. You can't overinvest in that. Let's look at the one that did work, though, just for fun. Usually we won't show hit-ups, but if we struggle with the base, we will. Let's see here. And then get it in an effort to help our Town Hall 10s. Let's look at replay 1. Was that the one I wanted? I don't think it was. Nope. Sorry. What? Replay 2. So I'm thinking it'll be... Okay, so it's very same attack, really. He spends a little bit more. See, so he just spent 2 on the minions for the cut. And so now the queen is going to go in. So just the difference of investing probably 4 slots and 2 minions gives him that nice long channel off the queen. She then handles the CC. She's still going. And going a lot further. So he's got plenty of time. Oh, and he's gonna just take it forever. Okay, so now, and that could have been on this side, or really symmetrical base. So he could have done that same king walk over here if he wanted to. But now, oh, and he goes baby drag instead of Valk. Now what does he see? Why is he seeing that and doing that? Oh, look at that. Yep. So look at the placements of the AD. So I would say Swoo's right about that versus Valks. They're basically you can get the 2 ADs down in the corner. They're giving you an air attack into the town hall, or making it easier for you. So I would say that was probably a better recognition of the base. That you don't have AD coverage on the town hall, so whatever's attacking the town hall will have less of the time. You do have one sweeper to deal with, but he's going to come in from the side. Yeah, the sweeper placement's not very good either. Yeah, so totally nice move. That's why he didn't cut this side. He cut that side instead, because really the exposed side to air in terms of sweepers is right there. So he's just going to plow in and let his allow his baby dragons to work right there. So good multi-phase visualization. And what is that? One baby drag does it. So it's not like he really got oh, it's 2 of them. But he had like 8, so a lot of them went wide. So it wasn't like for sure, but he got good percentage too. 64 is not bad. I think that the other team had really good Town Hall 10 hits on us. Hit-ups. Their hit-ups were probably a little better than ours. I think they had percentage on us. So anyway, that does it for that war. Hope it helps. And we'll talk to you soon. Good luck, guys.
What am I gonna do? My clan sucks. Hey, it's JTJ.
I think that's an all-out attack.
No, it's the legendary JTJU. JTJU. defend this army. Download Clash of Clans for free. Then subscribe to JTJU and win.